I think there was some kind of interruption. Okay, so I was at active SLR. So while performing that test, what you have to do is patient supine lying position में होगा, and what you have to do is that tell the patient that the foot should be in the dorsiflexed position, properly dorsiflexed, and raise the leg straight without bending the knee. And assessment wise, what you have to do is, let me just show you. So assessment wise, how will you give 0.3? So आपका जो reference point होगा, it will be a medial malleolus. So you will again use a stick. If as a reference point, as a medial malleolus, if the stick lands between the mid thigh and ASIS, like you can see in the picture 1, if it is landing between mid thigh and ASIS, you can score it 3. If the person, if in 0.2, the same movement you have to do, taking medial malleolus as a reference point, and if the stick is landing in between the joint line and mid thigh, then it's 0.2. And in 0.1, if it is below the joint line, that is how it tells you. And again, it is not that much. When a person is lifting the leg, what you have to notice is the hip and the spine mobility. In that case also, there will be no compensations from the spine. No, if the person is lifting the leg up, so वहाँ पे curve या major movements नहीं होना चाहिए while doing this exercise. And if a person complains of pain, then score it as 0. Now the next test is trunk stability push-up. Again, like आपका inline lunges, it is very important to understand the posture you are performing the test. So while doing the trunk stability push-up, because in that case, what in this test you will see that you will see the symmetrical pattern of the upper limb strength. If there is any compensation, you will see a kind of deviation, and see how the spine is performing during that test. If you're going, so you have to do one complete push-up in that case, from down to up, and what you have to see is compensations around the spine and how the movement is. So if the movement is smooth, that's what I'm saying. So divide it into 3 levels. You have to see the movements, you have to see how good he is doing it. That is the pyramid number 2, the slab number 2, which is the performance slab, and the last is skill. So what we are doing is majorly between movement and how rhythmically he can do it, how controlled the movement is. So when a person is doing the push-up, you can say the trunk stability push-up. So for men, the hand placement will be just next to the forehead when he is performing a push-up. For female, it should be around chin, but the gap will be a chest, it should be a chest width apart. But again, I'm repeating, for female, chin; for male, it should be at head level. Now, once a person is lifting up, going for a push-up, a complete push-up, what you have see is how many compensations, what kind of compensation he is doing. Is the pattern smooth? Is he shifting to one side or not? I will show you it in the image. So the next is this. So if you see point number 3, this is the pattern. The hand placement is next to the forehead. If it's we are performing it on the male, if it's female, then it's slightly lower. And then you are going as a one unit. There should be no compensation like that. In point 2, if the person is not able to do that, what you can do is you can slightly tell the patient to shift the hand slightly lower, or you can say close to the chest, and then make them to perform the exercise. If they can able to perform properly, score 2. In point 1, in scoring 1, what you have to do is, if the person is not able to do the scoring 3 or 2, modify it. Tell them to do it on the knees, and then try to give the exercise, try to give the test. If he is able to do that, then it's 0.1. If not, then again, what you have to see is what kind of compensations he is doing. The next testing, what we have to do is, what we have to check is is rotatory stability. Now in that case, what you are doing is checking entire kinetics of the body. It's not only in the frontal chain, it's in rotations, sides also, and everything. So the next is rotatory stability. Rotatory stability gives you a multiplanar stability. Now in multiplanar stability, what all you have to do is start from all four positions, quadruped positions. Hands, you know what the placement is on your hands, wrist just over the shoulder, knee over your knee, just under your hip area. And now what you have to do is, in that case, you start with same side, elbow and knee towards each other. So if I'm in that all four position, I'm taking my elbow and my knee towards each other and I'm extended. If the person is able to do that, complete from extension to the closure without deviation or any kind of compensation, that's 0.3. If he's not able to do that, switch it to 0.2. And now in that case, what you have to do is cross. Right elbow, left knee, and extend it. In score 1, the person is not able to do that, and he will feel a lot of instabilities while performing the exercise. Let me show you what I explained. So these are the 3 patterns in that case. So now what you can see is there is less or no mobility over your spine because these are the stabilizers over there. What you are moving is from your hip area, from your shoulder area. It should be parallel to the plank, if you can put it, or whatever marking you have given. It should be, the spine should be parallel to it. Now when you are performing this complete test, this is the starting and the end position. In second one, if he's not able to do that, this is the second one position where you are doing contralateral part, right hand, left leg. And the last one is patient is unable to do that. That's a score 1. Now in that case, the next test, So after doing all these testings, what is the most important part here is that few things. Let me summarize it like that. What we are assessing is, one thing is movement, whether the movement is complete or not, how effectively he is performing the movement, because the second pyramid not only shows how effectively he is performing the movement, but it also shows that how much power also he is generating. So it is not power as per the muscle, but it is the power as in general. And then we are checking the mobility of the person, we are checking the stability of the person. So it is in the entire functional pattern. Now when you perform these kind of testings, what you can see is that you will see a lot of difference between a right side of the body and the left side of the body. And again, I'm saying, guys, movement is medicine, but you have to assess the person, that what is right for the person. So if let's say my right side is strong and I'm giving major exercises to the right and ignoring the left, this is not how body works, and it is always works in sync. So to make it as a pattern, you have to assess the pattern first. And in that case, now this was the thing which you can perform it if the person is able to do that. What if the person is not able to do all these things? Now you have to cut the patterns. आपको इन चीज़ों को फिर break करना होगा. Let's say you see that मैंने अभी let's say मैंने squat movement किया, and you have seen that मेरे ankle में some kind of there is an issue with the ankle restrictions. There are ankle restrictions are there. Hip में problem है, but because of that the other parts are compensating, because as I told you, to get the mobility to the restricted area, the other parts have to compensate to complete the movement. And that's how this entire body works. And guys, one thing, the foremost important thing you have to know, that why it is so tough to work with patterns and why it is so tough to work with posture, because posture and patterns are all especially posture is controlled by both conscious mind and subconscious mind. And that's why, I can consciously control if someone says like, "Arey, aapka posture kharab hai," so I can suddenly correct my posture. But after some time my mind engages to some other thing, I'll come back to my old routine, because that's how my subconscious learning is. And that's what our speakers told about. Now until you understand that, like, these things takes time, because until or unless you are not train the muscle, train the body, or train the patterns to the subconscious level, there are always a chance that when you are going for the complex movements, the body will compensate. So start from the basics, isolatedly train the muscle, combine one or two muscles together. Once you have a better control over one or two muscles, then combine it with 3, 4, 5, until or unless it will become one complete pattern. Now, to make a pattern, again I'm saying you have to work to the subconscious level, because posture is controlled by your conscious and subconscious mind. And I know Dr. Siddiqui talked about kinesiophobia. Until or unless you will not, and when something happens, or if there any injury happens, or any kind of dysfunction is there, body ka part hai, that's the body's protective mechanism to hold the movement. But after some time, if it's chronic, it starts impacting your psychological aspect, and उसमें क्या होता है कि you start restricting yourself. That is not the solution, because there is a serious issue with your a serious trust issue between the body and the mind. जब तक वो confidence body की तरफ से mind को नहीं जाता कि I am capable of doing these things, till then always body is in a protective mode. नहीं, अगर मैं ये करूँगा तो ये हो जाएगा, if I'll do this then this will happen. And again Dr. Dharam Pandey explained it so well that अगर मैं कार लेके अपने ऑफिस में जा रहा हूँ और अगर रोज़ मुझे वहाँ पे ट्रैफिक मिलता है, what I'll do is I will find the other way. Same thing, the body works. अगर I am finding a restriction in my shoulder, अगर मुझे कहीं ना कहीं मूवमेंट के टाइम पे कहीं restriction फील हो रहा है, तो I will compensate it with some other thing. But obviously, as I told you, brain knows the pattern. वो कहीं ना कहीं से पैटर्न कंप्लीट कर ही देगा, बट मे बी आई विल नॉट टेक द राइट रूट, बट आई विल टेक मे बी अ शॉर्टकट, और आई विल टेक अ लॉन्गर रूट टू डू दैट. And that is how body works. And guys, when you are giving the exercises, it is always important to assess not only the individual joint, but as a unit also, like the entire pattern. And that is how this functional movement screening helps you to give the idea of what is the imbalances in the body between right and left. Either the body is quite stable to perform the exercises or not, how much the mobility is, because when you go along with the patterns, when you go according to the patterns, then you will get a better idea what to give to that person, because we know that every body is different, every case is different. So treat the patient accordingly, and then accordingly you chart the program and give the exercises to the patient. And it is always important कि आप पहले उसे अपने सामने करवाइए, and then once he'll get a better control. And it is always important to have a stability and then mobility, because ज़्यादातर यही होता है कि फोकस मोबिलिटी पे ज़्यादा होता है, स्टेबिलिटीज़ पे इतना नहीं होता, एंड उसकी वजह से कॉम्पनसेशन हैपेंस, एंड कॉम्पनसेशन की वजह से देयर इज एन एक्स्ट्रा स्ट्रेस ऑन द स्ट्रक्चर्स विच कैन कॉज फटीग लीड्स टू पेन एंड देन फर्दर गो ऑन. सो इट्स लाइक अ विशियस साइकिल. सो हमें इस चीज़ को ब्रेक करना है कि हाउ कैन वी मेक अ बॉडी स्टेबल टू परफॉर्म अ गुड प्रॉपर मूवमेंट. I think there are a lot of questions over there, and I'll answer one by one, but let me see from where I should. There are multiple questions. Hypermobility can significantly endanger stability. So how can we come over? See, what I feel is with a personal experience, hypermobility is very tough to treat. Stiffness अगर है तो it's easy to treat, but hypermobilities are very very tough to treat. So that's where your functional assessment comes. You have to give the movement and check the patterns कि अगर एक movement कर रहे हो, अगर एक pattern कर रहे हो, तो आपको compensations कहाँ मिल रहा है. And because we know, we have a good knowledge of human anatomy, biomechanics, and we can know कि कौन कौन से structures इसमें stress में जा सकते हैं. Is it harmful for the patient or not? And in that case, start focusing on the stability first. Start with the static stabilities, slowly move to the dynamic stabilities. Then you can combine it with your closed kinematic chain exercises, followed by open kinematic chain exercises, and there are multiple things. But if you go step by step, you will see the person will start giving you results. Why is movement screening important, and how can it evaluate muscle weakness and imbalances? Obviously, body works in the length tension relationship, if you know. अगर मेरा एक okay, simple example. If I'm bending my elbow, it's a bicep elbow bending, basically elbow flexion. So how mind works? अगर मेरा biceps contract हो रहा है, so automatically brain works in that way, that the terminology called reciprocal inhibition. If I'm contracting my biceps, automatically the brain sends another signal to the triceps that relax, let the movement happen. So जब एक biceps contract होता है, तो ट्राइसेप्स को ओपन होना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज व्हाट विल हैपन, नो मूवमेंट. सो द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, दैट्स हाउ बॉडी वर्क्स. अगेन आई सेड कि बॉडी का पॉस्चर जो ये सारी चीज़ें होती है सबकॉन्शियसली, और बॉडी कहीं ना कहीं से अपना रास्ता ढूंढ ही लेती है टू डू अ मूवमेंट, चाहे वो एंगेजिंग द राइट मसल्स हो, चाहे वो एंगेजिंग द रॉन्ग मसल्स हो या कॉम्पनसेशन हो. सो होता क्या है, व्हेन यू स्ट्रेस सेम मसल अगेन एंड अगेन एंड अगेन, तो कहीं ना कहीं उसमें कहीं ना कहीं स्ट्रेंथ या फिर टोनिंग इंक्रीज हो जाती है टू वन साइड ऑफ द बॉडी, बिकॉज यू यूजिंग इट टू मच, एंड अदर साइड ऑब्वियसली नोइंगली अननोइंगली ब्रेन वर्क्स लाइक दैट. तो एक मसल को जैसे ही वो सिग्नल भेजता है टू कंट्रैक्ट द एंटागनिस्ट मसल स्पेशली गोज इनटू इनहिबिशन. सो वहाँ से वो इम्बैलेंसेज आपका मूवमेंट उसमें आपका वो आता है कि कौन से मसल्स टाइटनेस में है, कौन से मसल्स वीकनेस में. एंड विद रेंज ऑफ मोशन एंड मोबिलिटी एक्सरसाइजेज यू कैन चेक कि वो मोबिलिटी है या नहीं, बिकॉज एवरीवन नोज कि कितना जॉइंट का क्या रेंज होता है. वट आर द फैक्टर्स दैट कैन अफेक्ट एफएमटीज. अगेन फैक्टर्स में आपकी जॉइंट मोबिलिटीज आ गई, आपके मसल फ्लेक्सिबिलिटीज आ गई, अगर कोई डीजेनरेटिव चेंजेस है वो आ गए उसमें, और आपका प्रीवियस पैटर्न्स है वो आ जाएंगे उसमें. एंड अंडरलाइंग कॉज देयर आर मल्टीपल, इंटरनल्स एक्सटर्नल, देयर आर मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स. हाउ कैन वी चेक दीज असेसमेंट इन पीडियाट्रिक केसेस. सो अगेन आई सेड कि ये वाला असेसमेंट पीडियाट्रिक के लिए नहीं है, दिस इज़ फॉर एडल्ट्स एंड स्पेशली फॉर एथलीट पॉपुलेशन. सो आप उस केस में ये परफॉर्म कर सकते हो, बट पीडियाट्रिक्स में तो, एंड आई एम नॉट अ पीड्स एक्सपर्ट, सो आई प्रेफर कि जो पीड्स में है वो इसका जवाब दे सकते हैं, बट डेफिनेटली ये असेसमेंट पीडियाट्रिक्स में हेल्प नहीं कर सकती. FMS स्कोरिंग इज ऑल्सो विद BMI, एज एंड एक्टिविटी लेवल. You can say that, but BMI is again not a gold standard tool, you can say. Age and activity level, yes, definitely I will consider that, because as you grow older, muscle की आपका जो flexibility होती है, joint mobility होती है, धीरे धीरे कहीं ना कहीं hamper करने लग जाती है. And if the lifestyle is sedentary, then you have a different kind of pattern. If you are more active, then might be you will see a different pattern. So it is always important to see how good you can assess and how good you can see the patterns and all. Some special tests for children, some tests are applicable for patients who can, who any kind of, sorry, I didn't get the question. Some special tests for children, these tests applicable to patients who have any kind of deformity. See, if there is any kind of deformity, again I said कि अगर कोई pain है या deformity है, please try not to do these exercises. So I think ये test सिर्फ तब possible है if you have a good amount of range and if you want to see the performance and work on the performance enhancement. Can we do plank instead of that? We can do, see, in functional screening there are specific 7 tests, so you cannot change those special tests, but yes, there are special criteria to check planks also. I think there are same tests. So FM tool is good for movement and assessment, analyzing spinal stabilities. Exactly. These tests are applicable in old age, Parkinson's. It's a neuro case, so it's better not to, because again, it all depends upon the, obviously when we are talking about Parkinson's patients 70 plus, and there will be a lot of compensations happening with movement, and also I will not prefer you to go for a functional assessment in that case. How can we get a set dosage? There is an entire corrective program on that. I can't, like, because of the limited time I have, and this is the end of my program, so I can't like answer this question, but maybe if you want, you can ask me directly on my Facebook page or on HCAP. I can answer that. When we can use this test. See, after the movement you feel the patient is getting better from the pain part, you want to shift it to the exercises part, then you can go for the assessments and how well he is performing. Sorry. How to formulate the exercise program, because see, this is very very good question, because when you are assessing you can see what all compensations is happening, and जब compensations आते हैं तो you can see these muscles are tight, these muscles are weak, we need to work on those muscles. If the muscles are weak, you can work on the strengthening of those muscles, but again side by side you have to relax the muscles to give a mobility for the exercises, and that's how you go for. So I think that's all for today. There is contraindication for these tests. Obviously, if there is pain, you can't do this test. And most important thing is if there is an underlying pathology like severe pain or trauma, or there is any kind of fracture, or these cases, don't try to do that. It is just a mobility functional pattern testing. If you feel the patient is fit for that, go for this testing. It is very good tool to give you another window to plan a program, a protocol for the patient. Thank you all, guys. And see, in the end, I would like to say again, thank you to all the HCAP members and to you guys. And see, one thing I'll definitely tell you guys, it's like a life experience which I want to share it with you guys, that it's never a brand that builds you, it's always you which builds a brand. So whenever you are working accordingly, whenever you think out of the box, then you will see there is a lot of things which you can do. But if you are stuck to one thing, that just we need to work on the pain management, that these are the exercise protocol you can work on, it will not work like that. Assess every day is a knowledge, every day is a learning, and just see how the patterns are, understand it, write it, and see what are the compensations are, what is right, what is wrong, because you can only comment on right if you know what the wrong is. So understand what the wrong is, then combine your knowledge and then try to give the exercises, and you will see the patient you have treated will not come back to you with the same problem. So I think that's all for today, and I will answer rest of the question in my offline or on your page only. So thank you so much, guys, and thank you everyone. Stay safe, guys.